Hello students, today we will learn about quality control, evaluation, assurance, and we will also learn about the responsibilities and organization of quality control department. Apart from that, we will also learn about internal control. The objectives of learning this topic is to understand the importance of quality control and quality assurance. We will also understand about the responsibilities and organization of quality control department. Apart from that, we will also understand the importance of internal control. Let us now begin the topic. The implementation of quality systems of various kinds has become a universal necessity in the agri-food sector. Indeed, in many countries, the adoption of food quality and safety systems by enterprises is no longer a matter of choice but a legal requirement. Based on so-called grandparents of quality control systems, that is the ISO and HACCP, a number of different quality systems with regional, national or global appeal have been developed and introduced worldwide. These may focus on processing or retail enterprises, on farms, on the industry as a whole or on specified food chains only. They all differ from traditional product-based food quality control with their focus on processes, process organization, process control and process improvement. The process view built on assumptions that good process organization and process control allows for guarantee of product quality irrespective of individual product inspection. Then the other assumption is that certain quality characters, for example, animal welfare considerations, cannot be identified through inspection of the final product but depend on specific organizational process characteristics. Today's quality systems incorporate a variety of different quality viewpoints, usually integrating ISO 9000 and HACCP aspects. In this regard, quality may refer to quality of enterprise management, quality of process organization and control, quality of process management or the quality of products. A given mix of requirements characterizes a particular quality system. Apart from HACCP, quality systems are usually established and managed by non-governmental bodies and implemented by enterprises in agri-food sector with the goal of achieving improvements in process management and quality production. Quality systems are also implemented as enablers of market access. Indeed, in recent years, a major driver for adoption of quality systems in enterprise has been the set of standards promoted by retail groups. Retailers demand quality system implementation from their suppliers on a global scale, irrespective of country borders. Let us now understand what quality control is. Quality control is a system of routine technical activities to measure and control the quality of the inventory as it is being developed. The quality control system is designed for three reasons. The first one is provide routine and consistent checks to ensure data integrity, correctness and completeness. The second reason is to identify and address errors and omissions. The third reason is document and archive inventory material and record all quality control activities. These quality control activities include general methods such as accuracy checks on data acquisition and calculations and the use of approved standardized procedures for calculations, measurements, estimating uncertainties, archiving information and reporting. Higher tier quality control activities include technical reviews of source categories, activity and methods. Now that you understood quality control, let us now move forward to quality assurance. Quality assurance activities include a planned system of review procedures conducted by personnel not directly involved in the inventory compilation development process. Reviews, preferably by independent third parties, should be performed upon a finalized inventory following the implementation of quality control procedures. Reviews verify that data quality objectives were met, Ensure that the inventory represents the best possible processes and procedures given the current state of scientific knowledge and data available, and support the effectiveness of quality control program. Quality control is not an optional extra in food processing. Neither is it something done only by large manufacturers. It is an essential component of any food processing business. The purpose of quality control is to protect the customers from dangers like, for example, contaminated foods, and apart from that also to ensure that they get the weight and quality of the food that they pay for. To protect the business from cheating by suppliers, damage to equipment, and false accusations by middlemen, customers or suppliers. Another reason is to be sure that food laws operating in a country are complied with. Quality control need not be time consuming or expensive, and the results of quality control tests should help save money in the long run. In general, quality control procedures should be as simple as possible and only give the required amount of information. Too little information means that the test has not done its job. Too much information and management decisions may be delaying or confusing also at times. Quality control is used to predict and control the quality of processed foods. It is no use producing a food, testing it to find the quality, and then trying to find a buyer for that particular batch of food. It is always the other way around. Quality control is used to predict the quality of processed food and then control the process so that expected quality is achieved for every batch. This means that quality specifications must be written and agreed with suppliers or sellers, and control points must be identified in the process, for which establishment of total quality management systems is a must. So now let us see what this total quality management is. We will call it as TQM. TQM is Total Quality Management. TQM is a people-focused management system that focuses on increasing customer satisfaction while continually reducing the costs. Although it uses scientific methods for assessing quality and associated costs and constraints and implementing improvement, it takes a total systems approach in which all functions, processes and departments across the organization and all employees at all levels are integral to ensuring the success in manufacturing of products or delivery of services. TQM stresses learning and adaptation to continual change as essential to achieving this success. Now, after understanding what quality control is, what quality assurance is, and what total quality management is, let us now move forward with the next topic, that is the tools for measuring quality. We definitely need certain tools to measure the quality. Producing a quality product or providing a quality service that customers are willing to buy is not a new concept. However, using a systematic record keeping and tracking quantitative data involving statistical principles are modern concepts. Today's supervisor must be able to collect data and understand principles of data analysis. Supervisors need to be trained in statistical methods used in analyzing performance data. Supervisors are also required to use many tools for measuring quality. Some of the more typical tools are check sheets to record patterns or trends for any product or a service. We can also use Pareto diagrams for prioritizing problems based on their importance. We can also use flowcharts that show pictorially the sequence of events in a process. Apart from that, we can also use cause and effect diagrams that examine all possible causes for a quality defect. Then we have histograms. Histograms are that charts where you can see the frequency or number of occurrences of a particular aspect of a product or a process. We also have control charts which monitor production as it occurs. And apart from control charts, we also have scatter diagrams. These are the graphs which pairs numeric data on two axes with one variable on each axis to determine the correlation between the variables. So, the supervisors can use any of these tools to assess the quality. Although many quality improvement issues involve complex systems that impact numerous processes, functions and departments within an organization, managers must also implement quality improvements at a much smaller scale within their work units. There are numerous issues involving workflow, customer service, communication, data management and other matters that are solely within team's purview that can make a big difference in enhancing the functioning of a team. One tool which can be used to implement continuous improvement in a team is the plan, do, check, act model. This is also called Deming cycle or Shewhart cycle. Now let us understand what this model is. In this you have four aspects: plan, do, check and act. Planning means identifying an opportunity and plan for a change. Do is to implement the change on a small scale. Check is to use data to analyze the results of the change and determine whether it made a difference. Act, this is to see if the change was successful, implemented it on wider scale and continuously assess the results. If it is unsuccessful, begin the cycle once again. So, this is called as plan, do, check, act model. This also is a very good tool to check the quality. Let us now move forward after the evaluation procedures and various tools used to check the quality. We will now start with the topic responsibilities and organization of quality control department. Quality is not just responsibility of one person or one department in an organization as it was once. Now or today, everyone from CEO to the production worker or service provider is directly responsible for quality. Supervisors are the one who play a key role in the success of any quality initiative. They serve the vital communication link between management and employee. They must understand both the challenges of workers and expectations of top management. The quality philosophy is set into motion by the workers under the leadership and guidance of their supervisor. Often, supervisors must coordinate and schedule regular in-service training sessions for their direct reports. It is imperative for the supervisors to demonstrate a positive attitude towards training by encouraging all the employees to take part. Training to gain skill in quality control must be a top priority for the supervisor. Their attitude and commitment to quality serves as the role model for all the employees. In any quality management systems, employees are the fundamental asset of any company. They should be knowledgeable of all expectations placed on them. They must know exactly what is expected of them when it comes to quality. A clear idea of these expectations will create an environment where workers will take pride in their work, feel more secure, have high morale and produce high levels of productivity. Very few employees desire to go to work and produce substandard products or provide substandard services. Having pride in one's work is highly motivating. Workers must be trained in all aspects of quality improvement. Supervisors are often in the best position to champion training programs offered in and out of the company. They might be expected to train their employees. Supervisors directly help management create a climate for innovation and continuous improvement. So, we have learned quality control, about quality assurance, we have learned about total quality management, then the tools to evaluate quality, and we have learned about the responsibilities and organization of quality control department. Let us now move forward to the last topic, that is internal control. It is very important to understand internal control. Now, what does this internal control mean? It is all the policies and procedures adapted by the management of an entity to assist in achieving management's objective of ensuring, as far as practicable, the orderly and efficient conduct of its business, including adherence to management policies, safeguarding of assets, prevention and detection of fraud and error, and accuracy and completeness of accounting records, and the timely preparation of reliable financial information. Internal control is a process which is effected by management designated to provide reasonable assurance regarding the achievement of objectives in various categories. The categories are effectiveness and efficiency of operations, reliability of financial reporting, compliance with applicable laws and regulations. There are several key points which should be understood about the definition of internal control. The first one is that people at every level of an organization affect the internal control, because internal control is to some degree everybody's responsibility. Generally, administrative employees at the department levels are primarily responsible for internal control in their departments. Consequently, the responsibility for controls over accurate financial and reporting primarily falls under the oversight of institutions' business offers. Then the second key point is effective internal control helps an organization achieve its operations, financial reporting and compliance objectives, because effective internal control is a built-in part of management process. And this internal control keeps an organization on course towards its objectives and achievements of its mission and minimizes surprises along the way. Then the third key point to be understood is that internal control can provide only reasonable assurance and not absolute assurance regarding the achievement of an organization's objectives. Effective internal control always helps an organization achieve its objectives, but it does not ensure success. There are several reasons why internal control cannot provide absolute assurance that objectives will be achieved. For example, cost-benefit realities, collusion among employees, and external events which are all beyond an organization's control. Now let us see what are the objectives of internal control. Any organization is primarily concerned with the achievement of its mission. Whatever the mission may be, its achievement will face all kinds of risks. The task of management is to identify and respond to these risks in order to maximize the likelihood of achieving the entity's mission. Internal control can help to address these risks. However, it can only provide reasonable assurance and about the achievement of mission and general objectives. Reasonable assurance equates to a satisfactory level of confidence under given consideration of cost, benefits and risks. Determining how much assurance is reasonable requires judgment. In exercising that judgment, managers should identify the risks inherent in their operations and acceptable levels of risks under varying circumstances and assess risk both quantitatively and qualitatively. Let us now understand internal control process. This internal control process, it has got 5 interrelated components. They are control or operating environment, risk assessment, control activities, information and communication, monitoring. All these 5 internal control components must be present to have effective internal controls. Also, when considering the 5 components of internal control, certain components relate more to the organization as a whole, while other components relate to specific financial reporting areas or only the transaction classes. So now, after understanding the objectives of internal control, let us now see the limitations on internal control effectiveness. Internal control cannot by itself ensure the achievement of the general objectives defined. An effective internal control system, no matter how well conceived and operated, can provide only reasonable, not absolute assurance to management about achievement of an entity's objectives or its survival. It can give management information about the entity's progress or lack of it towards achievement of the objectives. But internal control cannot change an inherently poor manager into a good one. Moreover, shifts in government policy or programs, demographic or economic conditions are typically beyond management's control and may require managers to redesign controls or adjust the level of acceptable risk. An effective system of inherent control always reduces the probability of not achieving the objectives. However, there will always be the risk that internal control will be poorly designed or fail to operate as intended. Because internal control depends on the human factor, it is subject to flaws in design, errors of judgment or interpretation, misunderstanding, carelessness, fatigue, distraction, collusion, abuse or override. Another limiting factor is that the design of an internal control system faces resource constraints. The benefits of control must consequently be considered in relation to their costs. Maintaining an internal control system that eliminates the risk of loss is not realistic and would probably cost more than warranted by the benefit derived. In determining whether a particular control should be established, the likelihood of risk occurring and potential effect on the entity are considered along with the related costs of establishing a new quality control. Then, organizational changes and management attitude also can have a profound impact on the effectiveness of internal control and the personnel operating the system. Thus, management needs to continually review and update controls, communicate changes to personnel and set an example by adhering to those controls. So, these are all the limitations of internal control. So, students, we have learnt about quality control, quality assurance, then total quality management, tools for evaluating quality, roles and responsibilities in an organization, and we have learnt about internal control. Let us now summarize and conclude the whole topic. The liberalization of the global trade and the fact that the consumers in the industrialized countries are more and more demanding food to be not only economical but also healthy, tasty, safe and sound. The competitiveness of food production is more dependent on reliability of the safety and the quality of the food and acceptability of production procedures than on quantity and price. Our nutritional status, health, physical and mental faculties depend on food we eat and how we eat. Access to good quality food has been man's endeavor from earliest of human existence. We always look forward to the quality of the food to assure its safety as its basic requirement. Consumers always look first on the quality of the food because food quality is an important food manufacturing requirement and because food consumers are susceptible to any form of contamination that may occur during the manufacturing process. That is the reason why food quality is important because it deals with product quality assurance, quality control, traceability, labeling, internal control, total quality management and the cost benefits. Therefore, food quality control and assurance has gained importance in the past few years with the food industry also following the quality monitoring and management system as per strict guidelines. Quality guarantee has become a necessary component of food service business with adoption of analysis and control systems for food safety. Hence, anybody who is getting into the food industry or is already in it needs to know about various techniques that are meant to assure the quality of the food as per the laid down norms and procedures. Thank you.